Sawadeekub ทุกคน In this video, we will write our very first Python program by using the print function in order to print a string of text onto the Windows terminal. And as you can see from my Python file right here, I've written a bunch of comments in order to better organize the Python file. But before we head on onto the print function, let me explain a bit on what are comments. So comments in Python are nodes added into the code in order to enhance readability and understanding for the programmers. And comments are ignored by the Python interpreter during the execution of the program. Comments in a Python file are meant for programmers to read in a case where there is a lot of programmers working on the same project. So one programmer could write comments so that other programmers know what the programmer is doing and how the code works. Now let's start writing our code. So firstly, regular print, we'll just type the print function, and between your parentheses for the string of text you can use either double quote or single quote, and we follow the name of the file, which is hello world. And to run our Python program, we just need to click this green button right here, and the code will run smoothly. Hello world. Other than that, you can also run your code directly through the terminal, which I recommend in order to train yourself to type comments on the computer. So head on into the folder in which contains your Python file, and then in order to run a Python file, you need to type Python and then the name of your Python file, which in this case is hello world.py, and enter, and your Python file will run. Next, let's head on to the second segment, which is print using comma. So in order to print using comma, you just type the same print function and type hello, comma, and world. And if you run the Python code again, the result will be the same as the first one. So if you hover over onto your print function, you can actually see the documentation and kind of the backbone behind the print function. So as you can see, in the first, there's an asterisk with the word values on the first row of the print function, and it means that Python can take more than one argument or one string of text at the same time. So if you feed two different strings of text to the print function, we actually print everything with a space in between every string or text that you give it. So let me put two more words behind world. So hello world, nice day, and if you click run, it actually print everything with a space in between them. Next, move on to the third segment, which is printing using concatenation. So this might sound a bit complex, but concatenation basically means just adding the plus sign between the different texts that you want to give. So you type print, then you type hello world, so hello and plus world, and if you click run, we'll actually combine both of the texts. So if you see right here, it actually literally combine it without any space in between it. So if you want it to look more organized, you have to put a space beforehand. And if you click run again, the result will be the same as the first segment. Next, move on to the fourth segment, which is print with the multiply operator. So same thing, we use the same print function and we type hello. And the great thing about Python with a print function is that you could use the multiple operator, which is the asterisk, and you can actually type how many times you want hello to be printed out. So let's say I want to say hello 5 times, so I just put hello asterisk 5 and I click run, and hello will actually be printed 5 times like this. So it's kind of a fun way to learn the print function this way. Next, we move on to, so in our fifth segment, we're going to combine the use of the format method into our print function. So firstly is basic positional formatting. So let's type out our print function, and let's say I want to say hello Python. So I just put hello, and I'll put curly braces here first. Then I type .format in order to use the format method, and then I'll type out my name Python. So if I press run, you like my name will actually appear in the curly braces, as you can see right here. And you can use other string of text as well, not necessarily just my name, like hello Python, click run, and Python will appear in the curly braces. Next would be another way of using the format method, which is positional indexing. So we type our print function, type hello. Let's write more of my name, so hello like PasonDesk. Sorry for my carelessness. PasonDesk, click run, and my name PasonDesk will actually follow in the order that I key in inside the format method. So let's say if I want to mix and match a bit, I want to put Cham first and then Payson. So hello Cham Payson. So I'll actually put in the braces here 1 and 0, and I click run. And as you can see, it prints hello Cham Payson instead. With positional indexing, you can decide on which string of text comes first by inserting the position of the text inside the curly braces. So in Python and also for most programming languages except MATLAB, the string position, like in this format method, actually starts from 0. So Payson will be at position 0 and Cham will be at position 1. And if you have like 3 string of text, it will be 0, 1, and 3. So you can actually change the order in which when your string will appear by inserting the position of your string inside the curly braces. Now let's go to segment 5.3, which is name placeholders. So other than placing the index or position inside the curly braces, you can also paste name placeholders inside the curly braces. So let's type print and hello. We do the same thing. So in here, let me type my first name, and here let me type my second name and dot format. So here I type my first name equals to, actually let's type second name equals to Pyam, and first name equals to Payson. Let me run this code. So when I run it, it will appear as hello Payson Chat. So this is just another way for you to print your string of text by using name placeholders like this. So for your placeholder, you can name it anything that you want. You can name it like maybe your food or any other creative stuff that you can think of. Now, let's move on to segment 5.4. So with the print function and the dot format method, we can actually mix and match by using both positional indexing as well as name placeholders. So I'll type print, and I want to type my full Chinese name, which is Cham Dong Hui. So hello Cham Dong Hui. We'll be using the format method. So I'll write Hui first, and Dong, then surname. I'll make it a placeholder. Just put it Cham like this. So in the curly braces, I'll put surname, and I want Dong to appear first. So this is in positional index 1. So I put 1. Then here is 0. And let's click play. So as you can see, it will appear as hello Cham Dong Hui. So this shows the use of mix and match between positional and name arguments. However, in your .format method, if you want to use a mix of both, you need to write the positional indexing first before you write the name placeholder, otherwise it will give you an error like this. So if you write it something like this, Hui, it actually give you an error. So that's why you need to follow the first way that I type it, like this. Now let's move on to segment 5.5, which is using same placeholder. So just copy this, then let's write another curly braces, and I put another 0 here, and if I click play, you can actually see the Payson is duplicated, like hello Cham Payson Payson, and it shows that you can actually reuse your positional indexing as well. Next, we move on to segment 6, which is my favorite, which is printing using the F string. So you type your print function, and then you type, before you type your string of text, you type F and then your double quotes, and then you type your hello, then um, my name. So here I put first name and second name, and on top of the string function I'll need to define the placeholder. So for first name I would put Python like this, and second name put Champ. And if I click run, it actually print out hello Python Champ. So for this you actually need to define what the placeholder means first, like this, and then only you can use the F string to write out your string of text. To me, I love this the most because it's very intuitive and very easy to understand. And in the upcoming videos on data types, I'll explain the different ways in you can define your placeholder or variables. Next, let's move on to segment 7, which is escape characters. So within the print function, let's type something like hello world. Let's say if I want hello world to be in different rows, all I have to do is within this space I'll type \n, and hello world will be printed on different rows. And let's say I want a tab in between hello world, I'll type \t, and if I click play, it will actually be a tab in between hello world. Escape characters, also known as escape sequences, are special characters used in programming languages like Python in order to format your string and represent characters that have a difficult meaning or difficult to represent literally. So other than these two, there are also a list of different other escape characters that you can explore yourself, because covering all in one video, it's quite tedious. Let's move on to our 8th segment, which is referring to the print function documentation. So let's run our print function and hover onto the print function, and from here you can see the print function documentation. And now we will talk about the functionality of this separate and end. So let's say you want to print hello world, so type hello comma world, sorry, and I want something in between both of this string of text. So I'll type comma and I'll type SCP as indicated in the documentation just now, and I'll type something like maybe I want 3 hashtags. And if I click the run button, actually print hello world with 3 hashtags in between. And if we put one more argument, it will look like this. So hello world again. Click the run button, and 3 hashtags will appear in between each different string arguments. And now I'll explain on the functionality of the end. So I'll type print, and let's say I want to print hello world, but I wanted it to be on the same line, even though if I use 2 print functions. So let me show you. Hello comma n, sorry, you can use single quotes as well. Let me do it with single quotes, and go click run, and it will appear like this even though you print in separate rows. So what happens if you actually delete this? What will happen? It will print the text in different rows. So I just put enter back and run it again. The end parameter in Python's print function specifies what character or string should be printed at the end of the output. By default, n is set to a new line character, which is the \n I showed you just now, which actually put the next character onto the row below. But in this case, our case, I want world to be beside of hello. That's why I set n to be nothing, so that when the Python interpreter runs the code, it will actually put world beside hello, because I have set the n of hello to be nothing. This sums up for our use of the print function for our very first Python code. So now I explain on the purpose of printing strings onto the terminal. So you may ask, Python, why do we learn how to do this? Because the client, when they use an application, they're not going to look at the terminal. They just use the application GUI straight away. Well, as a programmer, writing on the terminal, it's actually more for yourself because it's important for debugging, which is the most common use for printing your strings or text onto a terminal. When an application isn't behaving as expected, printing values of variable, function return codes, or specific messages at different points of the code like this helps developer trace the execution flow and identify where the issue or error might be happening. It's like leaving breadcrumbs to understand the program journey. And it's also for logging purposes for long-running application or services. So instead of just printing to terminal, log messages are usually redirected to log files. Next, printing onto the terminal also important for background processes. So in the real world, there will be many programs for like automation purposes, and these scripts and programs are designed to run without user interaction automatically. And within the automation, there will be progress updates, which indicates that a long-running task is still active. There's also completion messages that confirms whether a task is finished successfully, and also error messages to alert administrators to problem that requires attention. So these are all the purposes of printing text on a terminal. There are actually more in the real application, but we'll just stick for this for now. So in this code, I actually write an example. You don't have to understand everything yet. You just have to see why printing onto a terminal is important. So I run this code, and as you can see, as a backend engineer, when the user uses the application on the user side, you can actually see from the backend on what is happening. So in the backend, when the user uses it, you can see all the progress updates and checks so that whenever a problem or a live issue has occurred, as a backend engineer, you can go back and check your logs or your terminal in order to identify what problem and where the problem has occurred. And this is actually one of the significance of printing text into a terminal. So with that said, that's the end of our video. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.